Things are getting really interesting for America's team. According to reports, Big Mike McCarthy has had it up to here with Jerry Jones. He's getting fed up with Jerry Jones BS. Now, there's 3 levels of being fed up with somebody. Level 1 is, okay, I'm starting to dislike you, but I can still coexist with you. I can still get along with you and talk to you. But level 2 of being fed up with somebody is, I'm getting a little bit agitated having to be around you. You better watch what you say, or I may have a hard time holding back with my response. And then level 3 of being fed up with somebody is, man, they got one time to say something wrong, and you're about to come unglued with them, and you may put the Floyd Mayweathers on them. It seems like Mike McCarthy is at level 2 fed up with Jerry Jones, and nobody is surprised. Okay, because we know the kind of owner that Jerry Jones is. When Jerry Jones hires head coaches, he's not looking for the best man for the job. He's looking for a yes man. He's looking for somebody that's going to get on those knees with those knee pads and suck it on up for him. Mike McCarthy is a solid head coach, but he's not a great head coach. Mike McCarthy has been as good as expected. He's won a couple of division titles. They've made it to the postseason, but it's been nothing more than postseason disappointment after postseason disappointment. And going into this season, you pretty much feel it's now or never. You lose Dan Quinn, who's now with the Washington Commanders, and not only did you lose him, but you lost a lot of good depth on defense that followed him to Washington. Okay, Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler, they're gone. Leighton Van Der Esch, he retired. This defense still has talent, but now you have Mike Zimmer taking over as defensive coordinator, and he's supposed to be a really good defensive mind, but the last 2 years he was in Minnesota, his defense is ranked in the bottom of the NFL in every statistical category, which is why he ultimately got fired by the Vikings. He, if anything, is a downgrade from Dan Quinn. And the Cowboys this year play 8 playoff teams from last season. They have no run game at all. Like, outside of Ezekiel Elliott, I'll be lying to you if I told you who the hell else they had at running back this year. They got some dude named Royce Freeman. I remember him from Oregon. You got the midget dude, Deuce Vaughn, who I think is a really good player, but are they going to be able to utilize him correctly? And then you re-sign some guy called Rico Dwaddle or Rico Doolittle or something like that. I don't know. So are they going to have a rushing attack this year? Because Ezekiel Elliott, he's a really good short yardage back, but he's not as good as what he used to be your RB1. Your receiving core, Brandon Cooks, could regress this year. Your offensive line should still be solid. But there are a lot of issues that the Dallas Cowboys have walking into this season. They aren't as talented as what they've been in the past. And it still surprises me that despite everything that Dallas has lost this offseason, Vegas still has them in the top 10 of teams with the best odds to win the Super Bowl this year. If anything, I would be betting the under when it comes to the over-under win total for the Cowboys this year. And there's a good chance that they probably miss out on the playoffs this year. This is a disaster impending for America's team this year. But when is it never a disaster for the Dallas Cowboys? Because every time their season gets off to a good start, things end up going left. Last year, you felt that probably would have been their best shot at winning it all with all the talent that they had on that team. Now you go into this season, you don't know how long Dak is going to be your quarterback. His future's up in the air. You got to pay Michael Parsons. This has the feeling of a championship or bust season for the Dallas Cowboys, even though you say that may be the expectation for Dallas every year, but they could be in a little bit of a rebuild after this is all over. I don't think they've drafted that well. Mozzie Smith, their first-round pick from last season, he was nowhere to be found last year. I don't know how good the interior of their D-line is going to be. You know, their pass rush is still going to be pretty good as long as you got Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. You got DeRon Bland and Trayvon Diggs at corner. The talent's still there, but you downgraded with the dude who's going to be calling the plays and putting that talent in the right position to make plays. The Dallas Cowboys, man, with Mike McCarthy being frustrated, is not surprising because we knew what it was when he got hired by Dallas. He was hired to be Jerry's puppet. And I believe, along with a lot of people, that the Cowboys are never going to be a Super Bowl contender, and they're always going to continue to come up short in the postseason until Jerry Jones is gone from having any role with this team. Now, I don't want to go as far to say that the Cowboys are going to be good once Jerry Jones is dead. I'm not going to take it that far, but he's one of those owners that is a meddler. You know, he hires guys, but he always has to have his input on things, and he's not as qualified to be making some of these decisions as the guys that he hires, which is why it's really frustrating if you're in Mike McCarthy's shoes. Mike McCarthy, at the same time, though, the playoff losses have definitely been unacceptable. Outside of beating old man Tom Brady, Mike McCarthy has no impressive playoff wins as the head coach of America's team. Losing to Jordan Love in the fashion that they did was really embarrassing. I mean, the Green Bay Packers bent those boys over and gave them an ass whooping on national television, dog, with the leather belt. As a matter of fact, it wasn't even a leather belt. Jordan Love went out there and told the Cowboys that if y'all not going to pick the switch, I'm going to go pick the switch, and you're not going to like the switch I come back with. It's going to have some thorns in it, and it's not going to feel good when we put it on your you-know-what. Listen, Mike McCarthy, if I was him, I would have already quit. I don't know how you can continue to work for such a control freak as big as what Jerry Jones is. It's hard to be a good head coach when you got your owner who's always talking to the media, always doing press runs. And I knew this thing was about to get a little bit ugly a few months ago when Jerry Jones made a comment about Bill Belichick potentially working with the Dallas Cowboys. Like, what the hell are you doing, Jerry Jones? Why are you talking about working with other coaches, especially the greatest one of all time, when you already have Mike McCarthy still under contract? It's like the Cowboys get so much attention and so much negative publicity, not mainly because of what happens within the team. When it comes to player contracts and players wanting extensions and whatnot, that's what you expect. Every team has this when some of their notable players are seeking new contracts. I don't really consider that to be negative publicity. But Jerry Jones brings a lot of the negative attention that the Cowboys get because he doesn't know how to stop talking. He just has bad awareness, and he's just too big of a control freak to let people do their job. And that's why I think this season for the Dallas Cowboys is going to end really ugly. They got a way tougher schedule than what they had last year. This division has gotten better. Philadelphia is going to be good again. The New York Giants are still going to be garbage. Well, the Washington Commanders, they could be interesting. The Dallas Cowboys this year, if you're a Cowboys fan, buckle up for a really rough season, man. You may sneak into the playoffs as a 9-win team, but I don't see you any more than an early playoff exit, as always. Because look at the dysfunction that you always have from Jerry Jones. It starts from the top. And if you think Bill Belichick's going to come in and be able to win you a Super Bowl, then you're sadly mistaken. Does Bill Belichick strike you as a guy that's willing to be Jerry Jones' puppet? If anything, we could see Mike Zimmer become the Cowboys' next head coach for all we know. You never know with Jerry Jones, man. Look how long it took him to fire Jason Garrett. It's over for the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl window. They had their best chance to win the Super Bowl the last 5 years. It's gone now. Dak Prescott, you might as well go ahead and let him hit free agency or trade him away for a few draft picks, because is he good enough to win the Super Bowl? Yes, but he may not be good enough to win the Super Bowl in Dallas. Maybe it is time for a fresh start. And I don't think that fresh start is Trey Lance. I think that fresh start may be drafting a quarterback in next year's draft and starting over with somebody that's playing on a rookie deal, not running it back with somebody that's already a proven bust in Trey Lance. If you're not good with Kyle Shanahan, I got no reason to believe you're going to be good with anywhere else. If Trey Lance is your successor to Dak Prescott, yeah, you're in trouble if you're Dallas. Just look at their running back room. You don't need to have a great rushing attack to win in the NFL, but you at least have to be able to run the football when you need to. And I don't see it with whoever the hell these dudes have at running back behind Ezekiel Elliott. The Dallas Cowboys are in a really terrible situation, and I blame it on Jerry Jones. I blame it all on Jerry Jones. You can say Mike McCarthy deserves to blame, but Jerry Jones is the dude who hired this fool in the first place. He knew what he was doing. He wasn't trying to get the best guy available for the job. He was trying to get the dude who he could manipulate. And that's why Mike McCarthy is fed up. He's probably saying, bro, dude, like, get your old ass off my back and let me do my job. If anything, I would like to see Mike McCarthy get an opportunity to coach a different team that's in a little bit of a rebuild. You know, not have to worry about the owner breathing down his bag, doing press runs, making things a lot harder on you than what they need to be. Like, if Jerry Jones would just shut the hell up and stop talking, Dallas wouldn't make so many negative headlines.